We are back, fellas, on a rare Wednesday.
What's up, fellas? How we doing on a Wednesday afternoon?
Good, buddy. I'm recovering from a little party I held at the house last night. Teenies and weenies. So a little, got my hot dog roller out. I had a bunch of people over the house. Had some martinis. Good friends, good times, good laughs, man.
Teenies and weenies. What was the topping situation?
Topping situation. Actually, I haven't cleaned up from last night. So let me take a look here. Let's see. We have sauerkraut, your typical stoplight ketchup mustard relish. We had some pickled something. I can't really tell what the heck that is. We didn't go any. Chili. And we had chili, of course. Have to have that.
Chili? Did you do cheese too, or just chili?
Just chili, because we had regular beef hot dogs. Then we had some that had like chili cheese already kind of pre-stuffed in the dog, and then we had some jalapeno dogs. Yeah, so didn't want to go crazy overkill with that. I'm a big sauerkraut guy, being a Polak, so definitely I'm a sauerkraut and mustard guy.
When you say you had rollers, is this like a 7-Eleven type situation you got going on over there?
Yeah. I got an industrial roller, Carnival King. It can fit 36 things that can be rolled.
Yeah, I remember last time I was over there, you had it out.
Yeah, somebody was like, "Can you put taquitos on there?" I'm like, "Anything that can be rolled."
Yeah. What don't you understand about this?
Joe says kraut on a dog is the best. Yeah, kraut on a dog is a very good move. Don't see it often unless you're outside of a baseball game. What if I miss it Thursday already? No, Joe, we're doing it on Wednesday this week. Sorry, man. We had some scheduling conflicts for tomorrow, so we figured we would go a day early. Also, we had the MLB Hall of Fame yesterday, so we wanted to get on and talk about that. We wanted to talk about the national championship game that happened on Monday night. We haven't gotten to talk about that yet. A lot of stuff to talk about. Where do you guys want to start? Do you want to start with the Hall of Fame just because it was last night? Or, Brooks, do you have anything you want to add before we get into sports talk?
No, we can start wherever. Let's start with the Hall of Fame, and that's a shame because how did Ichiro not get 100% here, guys? Yeah. I think we're all in agreement here. We were all like, "What the fuck?" when this came out. So I want to know. I want that man's credentials revoked, and I want that man's head on a stick in front of me this week.
For those of you who don't know, the MLB Hall of Fame voting was last night. The Baseball Writers of America voted in Ichiro Suzuki, CC Sabathia, and Billy Wagner. Billy Wagner being his 10th time on the ballot, so it was his final chance to get in by the Modern Era Committee. Anyway, Ichiro, there were 394 voters total that had ballots, and 393 of them thought that Ichiro should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and there's one jackass out there that for some reason has a Hall of Fame vote and thinks that Ichiro is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. To that guy, I say, show yourself and just make an argument. Tell us what your thought is. What is your thought process? And I said the same thing when Jeter got snubbed. It was the same thing. It was one guy didn't think Jeter was a first ballot Hall of Famer. If you've watched baseball at any point over the last 30 years and you don't think Derek Jeter or Ichiro Suzuki are first ballot Hall of Famers, you should not have a Hall of Fame vote, in my opinion. And if you do believe that, I feel like you should have to come out and say why. Brian, what do you think about that? Or what did you think about the whole situation in general?
Well, from a high-level perspective, I mean, they should really make these people come out and own their vote. And once again, like you said, Dusty, just come out and tell me why. That's it. I think you owe it to the baseball fans of America to say why. And in this case, the Asian baseball fans, why do you not think Ichiro Suzuki is a Hall of Famer? And look, we play that Hall of Fame game a couple months back. Like, you should know if a person's a Hall of Famer right away, right? Hall of Fame or not Hall of Fame. Last time I checked, Billy Wagner didn't play any baseball the last 9 years. Yeah. And all of a sudden he's Hall of Famer. Okay, cool. But from a high level perspective, they need to make this voting public. You need to be able to say, who's the asshole that didn't vote for him? Do you have something against Ichiro? I mean, for God freaking sakes, Hank Aaron didn't get 9 votes. All right, but the man hit over 700 home runs.
Owen Ryan, Tom Seaver, Ken Griffey Jr., none of them.
And you guys know Babe Ruth. And you know my affinity for Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn didn't get 11 votes.
Oh, they didn't have the Hall of Fame back then, did they?
Yeah, they did. Babe Ruth's in the first class.
They got
first class.
He was the first class that went in. But and also, I don't want to hear this bullshit argument that Babe Ruth didn't get 100% of the vote. Who gives a shit? That has nothing to do with Ichiro, and we're using Ichiro because it's recency here. But this is ridiculous.
Yeah, don't be a part of the problem. Be a part of the solution. There's new voters now, and you get 10 votes per year. There's other guys on this list that I'm kind of shocked that Andrew Jones once again snubbed.
Yeah. Carlos Beltran.
I would say Carlos.
If the person who didn't vote for Ichiro was like, well, I wanted to, I knew he was going to get in already, so I wanted to use my 10th vote with somebody else, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Ain't how it works.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Wagner, obviously, I think we all said this last year. I think we all thought that he should get in last year when we were talking about this. Obviously, Ichiro, we know we're all in agreement with CC. I think A-Rod should get in. I think Manny should get in at some point, probably. I mean, Felix Hernandez is on here. Beltran's on here.
Can I give a perspective real quick? Just
sure.
If I understand if your thought process is if you did steroids, you shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. I understand that thought process, but my thing is, why are there exceptions to the rule now? Why is David Ortiz, who had a positive PED test, in the Hall of Fame? Why is Carlos Beltran getting 66% of votes to get into the Hall of Fame? Alex Rodriguez is one of the 10 best players that's ever stepped on a baseball field. That's a fact. That's a straight up fact. Look at the numbers. Look at all the production that he put up in his career. And if you don't think he's top 10, whatever. He's in the top 20, not even close. I don't understand why Carlos Beltran, who also has a positive PED pop, and A-Rod are in the. What is it? Just because A-Rod's a dick? Is it because people didn't like him? I don't get it. You can't play favorites in this. Mm-hmm. And I understand that the Hall of Fame is about integrity and all that stuff too. I think A-Rod has assimilated himself pretty well back into the baseball world. I think he's in the good graces of a lot more people than he was at the time of his retirement and at the time of all the scandalous stuff. I just think that if you're going to draw the hard line, you need to draw a hard line. You can't just say, okay, well, this guy was nice to us, but he got popped once, and this guy, whatever. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get that.
Yeah, and this, I think Adam Jones would gladly give up those 3 votes if that took away from Ichiro getting 100%.
Yeah.
Good for Adam Jones, by the way.
Ty Cobb is suspected of killing a man. Okay. Now, we weren't alive to watch Ty Cobb play, but we can read the numbers. So if you want to have integrity about this damn thing, look, it's a museum. The Hall of Fame is a museum. If you want to have a steroid wing, you have a steroid wing. Or put some kind of, I hate to use the word asterisk because it's overused when it comes to steroid shit, but put on the bottom of their plaque, like, tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. I mean, look, if we don't think, Ivan Rodriguez definitely juiced. And I don't think you can't be around Jose Canseco with those Rangers teams. You can't be, like Ricky Henderson, the Oakland A's. They're great ball players. They're phenomenal ball players. So I just, but let's get this over with.
Let's not forget half the athletes of the 80s were just ripping cocaine before every freaking game. They were playing NBA, MLB, every sport. It's just crazy to me. I've said this so many times. The Hall of Fame should be a celebration of the story of baseball. Mm-hmm. It should tell the story of baseball. Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds hold 7 Cy Youngs and 7 MVPs, the most of all time by either a pitcher or hitter. Can you tell the story of baseball without the 2 best players at their position? I don't think so. Can you tell the story of baseball without arguably the best player of the 70s and 80s and Pete Rose? I don't think you can. I just don't get it. I understand the steroid argument. I just don't get why it's not cut and dried. It should be whatever. Also, I like Pigtown. I like that you brought up Kenny Lofton. I've been saying this for a long time too. Kenny Lofton had, I think, a Hall of Fame worthy career, and I think he'll get in eventually. He'll be one of those veterans committee guys, like Dave Parker and Dick Allen this year at some point. But it's a shame that he didn't get more love earlier on and that he's off the ballot, because if you look at his numbers in comparison to Ichiro's, he's right there with him.
Does anybody think that Andy Pettitte should be getting more votes than Felix Hernandez? Do you feel like Andy Pettitte was a better pitcher than Felix Hernandez?
I just don't. I think Hernandez was definitely a better regular season player, but Pettit is one of the best postseason pitchers of all time, and he played for like the peak Yankees years. So
Well, fair. I mean, Felix didn't
it's-
have a chance to pitch in the playoffs, really, besides like once.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. I think to answer your question, Felix Hernandez, in my opinion, is a better pitcher than Andy Pettit, but Andy Pettit means more to baseball long term just because of his postseason success and the team he was on.
If I had a game to win, I'm taking Pettit over King Felix, but it is not a big gap there.
Yeah,
very, very close.
What was that? Was that the Blair Witch? Did you guys hear that?
Nope, just you.
Just me, I guess.
And I said the same thing. Excuse me. I said the same thing every time Pete Rose is brought up. I think the best thing that happened to Pete Rose was not getting in the Hall of Fame because it kept Pete Rose relevant. People would always bring him up every year and have that conversation, have that argument at the dinner table or at the bar or around the water cooler. I mean, look, he's going to end up getting it posthumously at some point or another, and that is a shame. But I think that made him a lot of money throughout the duration of his lifetime.
Yeah, I know that, but now he's never gonna see himself go in the Hall of Fame, and that's even more of a shame. I think he would take going to the Hall of Fame rather than being brought up every year. I would, and he never got to see it, which I think sucks. Hopefully his son gets to see it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Carlos Beltran, he's getting closer. It looks like A-Rod's getting a little bit more love. I don't know how much he got last year, but I mean, he's up to 37%. I'm surprised Manny's getting 34%, to be honest with you. I feel like he doesn't get very much respect at all with all. I mean, he got popped, 3 times probably?
2 or 3. I mean, I think he was taking drugs. He was taking drugs that were like fertility drugs. He was having babies.
I mean, obviously, I remember him being such a stud on the Red Sox playing against us forever, but I'll never forget when he was number 99 on the Dodgers for that half a season or whatever, and he just could not get out. He was like hitting 450 for the second half of the year that year or something. He also had a play, I think, at Camden Yards where he was in left field, and he was a kind of a circus act in left field. He had a play where he was running back to catch a ball up against the fence. He caught the ball, jumped while leaping, jumped up and put his foot up against the fence, high-fived a guy in the crowd, and then threw the ball back to the shortstop, who relayed and got the guy at first to double him off, which is like one of the coolest plays in baseball history. I love Manny. What do you guys think about CC and Billy Wagner? I'm really happy Billy Wagner got in, especially because this was his last ballot. Let's talk about CC first, or talk about whoever you want. Brooks, let's go to you first.
I think we all said this last year when we were looking ahead that CC's a no-brainer. And we were all in agreement here with Billy needs to get in, especially with he revolutionized like the hard-throwing reliever in general, really. And he's got some of the best. I think he's got the best K through 9, the best walks per 9 stats out of anybody still. And he's 7th all time, somewhere around there on the saves list.
Yeah, he's top 10.
So it's kind of astounding to me. It's been this long. I don't know if it's just a product of who's been on the ballot here recently. It's something I'd have to go back and look at. But yeah, I'm glad he got in and see. I don't know if you guys saw when he found out how emotional he was about it too. So that was pretty awesome.
No,
I haven't seen it yet.
That's a really good video to watch. Yeah.
I mean, he was top 5. I think he's top 10 left-handed reliever of all time in ball in the live ball era.
Yeah. I mean, who else is a better left-handed reliever? I guess now Chapman. You can say maybe Chapman.
Definitely.
Andrew Miller didn't do it for long enough. John Franco. I mean, we're going back in the day. I don't know. Except for George Jarrell.
I'll tell you what,
BJ Ryan.
BJ Ryan. CC's going in with 250 some odd wins. I'm sure Brooksy's got it pulled up over there.
251 is the number.
That's going to be he might be the last person to get in with over 250 wins.
Left-handed starters in baseball history with more than 250 wins and 3,000 strikeouts. It's Carlton, Johnson, and Sabathia, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the whole list. So, definitely one of the most dominant left-handed starters we've ever seen. Awesome. I was listening to Tim Kirkjian talk about him and how awesome it was that he was just so willing to take the ball
Oh.
for the Brewers whenever
The
they wanted
Brewers.
to. Like he threw 7 complete games in a half a season with them and carried them to the playoffs, and then went into the playoffs and pitched on 3 days rest multiple times in a row in a contract year. You would never, ever see anybody do that these days.
He could have had 40 wins that year because the Brewers are just like, hey, you pitched yesterday, but go ahead and throw again to Mark.
Yeah.
We have no chance of signing you in the offseason. Someone's going to burn the living hell out of you. It was like Ben McDonald at LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was just a horse, and he was so good, especially in that Yankees World Series run that year. He was unbelievable. He was unhittable in the playoffs. So just a gamer and super clutch guy. Brooks, sorry.
Can somebody tell me how Russell Martin and Brian McCann are getting votes?
Honestly, I thought Brian McCann would get more love. Brian McCann's probably one of the best 3 or 4 catchers of the last 20 years. Just not a loaded position. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
Molina, Mauer, and Posey, and then
I'd have to think. I'd have to think about it honestly. Torrey Hunter, I wish he'd be getting more love. Yeah, I know we've talked about this. David Wright's getting more love than Torrey Hunter.
That's crazy. Like David Wright is the definition of the guy who was on a Hall of Fame path and then just had his career shortened by injuries. Which sucks. But like, look, man, at a certain point, you can't play 7 or 8 years and be a Hall of Famer. You just can't. It's just not. That's not what the game is unless you win 6 MVPs. Yeah, not in baseball. I don't know. So yeah, we talked about Andrew Jones. I think before we talked about Carlos Beltran before. I think a little bit of the Beltran stuff is still stemming from the Astros sign stealing situation. I thought that he was just getting punished last year. It was just his first year on the ballot, I believe. By not getting more votes, but I guess some people are still frustrated by that. Plus the steroid stuff surrounding him. But I mean, the guy's got 400 plus home runs. Was a 5-tool guy. He was sick in the playoffs.
Remember when he was the manager of the Mets for like 6 days?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Then all the cheating shit came out.
Torrey Hunter, pride of Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Didn't know that about Torrey Hunter.
Did not know that, buddy. Did not know that, Joe.
Did you guys see next year's ballot by chance?
No.
It's not good. I'm trying to find. I just lost it.
The top 3 names I saw were Matt Kemp, Ryan Braun, and Cole Hamels. I don't think any of those are sniffing first ballot. I don't really think any of them are sniffing.
No.
Yeah, I mean Ryan Braun, even if he was a little bit better, had the steroid thing, so he wouldn't get in. And people don't like Ryan Braun either, so it's not like he has the steroid thing, but people like him just like Big Papi. But it's so weird. I hate that.
I don't think Ryan Braun likes Ryan Braun because he was the guy who knew he cheated, completely denied it. Again, got a guy fired from like a Quest Tech lab or something like that because he said that he was trying to sabotage him. And then it came out that Ryan Braun was lying the entire time.
He also stole that whatever, I think it was 2011, the MVP from Matt Kemp, who I think had 39 homers and 40 stolen bases that year and played like unbelievable center field for the Dodgers, who were a really good team. I used to love that guy. I don't respect him at all anymore. Looks a lot like the lead singer of OAR.
There's the random
weird reference, but
so here I'll name them. Oh, Matt Wieters and Nick Markakis are on this ballot. So is Chris Davis.
Wieters is on the ballot.
So 2026 notable Hall of Fame candidates: Cole Hamels, Ryan Braun, Alex Gordon, Shin-Soo Choo, Edwin Encarnacion, Hunter Pence, Matt Kemp, Nick Porcello, Daniel Murphy, Howie Kendrick, Nick Markakis, Matt Wieters. Other possible candidates are Gio Gonzalez, Jason Kipnis, Chris Davis, and Jeff Samardzija.
Jeff Samardzija is a tight end.
Wide receiver was
wide receiver.
He should go into the Hair Hall of Fame. Phenomenal flow.
I love a lot of the guys that you brought up. I love Howie Kendrick, but you can't bring up Howie Kendrick and Hall of Fame in the same sentence. You just can't.
No.
That ballot sounds like the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah. There's no one's going in from that one first time at least. That's where Beltran's going to get in.
Yeah,
nobody.
Beltran, Andrew Jones. I think Utley will get more love next year. He seems like he's getting more and more love every year. I don't see him as a Hall of Famer. Just in my heart, like I haven't looked at his baseball reference page or anything, but just like when you say the name Chase Utley, I just think Hall of Very Good.
Yeah.
He's
and
just one of those
Pigtown,
guys.
yeah. Matt Kemp was a beast at his peak.
God, he was so fun to watch, and he had a resurgent year with the Padres. Like 5 years after he was good, that was crazy, and then he fell off a cliff again. Yeah, super fun guy to watch. But yeah, congratulations to the three
Edwin
guys.
Encarnacion. I mean, he scared the shit out of me.
I can't believe he's Hall of Fame eligible. It feels like he was hitting homers for the Blue Jays like 2 years ago.
I know, just running around with his arm out like this.
Oh man, that guy played for a really long time, though. I guess it just doesn't seem like he's been out of the league that long.
I just wish he would have hit Joey Bats over the head with a bat.
I wish a lot of people would have hit Joey Bats. I couldn't. Yeah. Did you see Griffey surprise Ichiro on MLB Network last night? That was cool. And then Ichiro just responds by saying, "George, thank you."
I love their relationship.
It's so funny.
So the Sean Barletta told us this one time because he's a massive Mariners fan. But Ichiro would when they would go on road trips, he would fly with his bat in the seat next to him, and he would buckle it in.
That's a weird thing to do.
Very odd.
One of the weirdest things I remember when I went to the 2001 All-Star game in Seattle, we're walking up to the stadium. I don't know if it was for Home Run Derby or the actual game, but somebody's handing out like a CD with just one song on it, and the song was Ichiro, the RBI Samurai. And it just played on repeat. Like you literally played it in like a CD disc cassette. Like I remember getting back to the hotel room after that, putting it in and being like, "This is ridiculous."
It's just over and over again. It just says Ichiro, the RBI Samurai. Ichiro.
Well, it was a song. It was a song. It was an actual song.
It was to a beat, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. Did you keep it?
I mean, God, if we could
for
find
a while, we had it.
We had it for a while. Like we had like this huge like CD binder thing.
Oh yeah.
If that's still like, I mean, our mom does hoard some stuff sometimes. So from our childhood. So if that's like floating around, she did find like CDs of like Dr. Dre and Eminem that she took away from us when we were too little to be buying like explicit content CDs. We got them from somebody.
Yeah, when you come home,
but she found that recently, and I'm like, man, what else? Like, you got to find maybe that CD's in there somewhere.
What'd you buy at the mall today? Oh, I bought the Chronic album. Like what?
Yeah, from Faye FY for your entertainment FYE.
Yeah. Oh man, malls. Remember malls?
Remember malls? They were cool for a while.
They were a cool thing.
We did those for the Marley Station Mall was our stomping ground, baby.
Yeah.
Big food court.
Big food court. That used to be the thing, man. You go hit on chicks at the food court, you know, when mom and dad would drop you off at the mall to go to the movies.
Oh man.
They had the bourbon chicken, the little bourbon chicken person always out there handing out bourbon chicken.
Oh yeah.
We'd always go get we get like Taco Bell and sneak it in underneath our jackets and watch movies there. I remember that.
Yeah. Yep.
Marley Station Mall. Is that even still around? Did they tear that thing down yet?
I was going to ask you guys, did they tear it down or what's the deal?
I think it's still there, but I don't imagine there's many stores in there anymore. I don't think any of the department stores are there anymore. I think one of them is like a gym now. I know Ant's Footlongs is still out front.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to turn these malls that are still standing into like universal. I'm trying to figure out how exactly to word this, but like entertainment centers where like you have multiple things inside of it. Like you'll have batting cages, you'll have a putt-putt course, you'll have like I don't know, like a jungle gym thing, because it's such a large space.
I gotta find something to do with it. Oh, look, Big Town. Ann's finally takes cards now.
Wow.
Welcome to.
I don't know, man.
Welcome
Something's
to the
future,
future,
change there now. I remember when Belly Buster started taking credit cards a couple years ago. I don't know if I like it. I still don't know if I like it. Something to be said about a little cash only joint, right?
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect to wake up on a Wednesday and start talking about Marley Station Mall.
Yeah, me neither. Christ.
I'm digging it, dude. Hey, look, I still go to Annie Ann's when I go to the airport because it reminds me of a mall.
Do you get the cinnamon pretzel or do you get a pretzel? What do you get? What do you get at Annie Ann's?
I get pretzel with cheese. Regular pretzel, salted
piece.
pretzel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like I used to go to East Point Mall in Dundalk because they had laser tag in the basement. That was,
Oh yeah, I remember playing that. I played laser tag there.
Laser tag was awesome.
oh, dude, it was great.
I wish it's something I could do as an adult and not get judged.
Hey, you guys ever go to Mall of America in Minnesota? The one that had like the roller coaster in it?
No. It's still there. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, they have like a golf simulator and stuff in there. I think it's still pretty popular. Like we were there for the All-Star game, but I don't think we ever went to the Mall of America. The only thing I remember about downtown Minneapolis was how many strip clubs there was around the stadium. Like it was, I remember walking to the game and being like, Jesus Christ, like go to a baseball game and grab a titter real quick. Like
remember we tried to go to that Irish bar in Minneapolis and they wouldn't let Uncle Bruce in. Uncle Bruce is like 75 years old. He didn't have his ID and they wouldn't let him in. I forgot about that until you just
come on, guys.
talking about it. Yeah.
But
I don't even know if I was 21 yet.
Have you guys ever been to Cooperstown for a Hall of Fame induction?
No.
We've both been to Cooperstown several times, but neither of us for a Hall of Fame thing. Have you?
No, I've not. And really, it's usually it's July. I just know it's like the hottest damn time of the year.
Yeah,
you got to
why
sit
do
outside.
they do it, man? It's so weird.
The only one I would want to go to was when Cal and Tony Gwynn got in, because Tony Gwynn's my favorite baseball player of all time. Obviously, Cal, Baltimore.
Yeah.
And they both played for the same team the entire duration of their career. It was also cool. And it was only those two going in.
Yeah. That was big for our family in general. Because I remember in the Seattle All-Star game was their last, they're both of their last All-Star games as well. And my dad, obviously, and his side of the family, obviously being from San Diego, he's a huge Padre fan and he has Padre ties and took us to Orioles games our whole life growing up. So that was like a big thing for our family, just the Tony Gwynn and Cal. And it feels like those two players are connected. Like in my head, when I think of Cal and when I think of Tony Gwynn, I think of Cal immediately and vice versa. So it's just a cool little thing. Speaking of the Orioles though, did you guys see the Birdland value menu that came out this morning? Or maybe it came out last night?
Yeah, I think it came out this morning. Let me see if I pull up the picture of it.
I have it if you want.
I have a Tony Gwynn hat.
Is that a Tony Gwynn hat? Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's from Baseballism. By the way, that store I could spend a mortgage.
Baseballism?
Oh man, I love that store.
They've got some real cool stuff in there.
Went to one out in San Francisco, man. I could have bought everything off the rack.
Oh, I've never been to one in real life. I've just been on the online shop.
Yeah, there's one in Atlanta. I know there's one in Wrigley. I don't know where else. I think there's one in San Fran, maybe San Diego. I guess maybe that's what he's pointing towards.
San Diego.
Brian, where did you get that online or at the Heart or at like a real store?
I went and got it at the this I got online because they came out with a Tony Gwynn limited edition collection like maybe a year and a half ago. But I went to the real store out in San Fran when we went to the Giants game, and it's just big spot, a lot of stuff. I mean, it's baseball porn. It's exactly the best way I could put it. And I guess whoever started the company is a massive Mariners Ken Griffey Jr. fan, because everything there is Griffey oriented. Like they basically half the stores is Ken Griffey.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense, because I remember when they first started getting going. I remember when they came out, it was just a ton of Griffey gear to start. And maybe that's just they sold a bunch of it and they're just trying to be loyal to him because it's he's what got them there. But anyway, this is the new Birdland value menu that's going to be available at Oriole Park Camden Yards in, I think, a bunch of sections. I looked at it. It looks like there's like 6 sections where they're going to have this stuff available. So you're going to have to walk around the stadium a little bit. It's not going to be like this everywhere, but it is kind of cool that they're doing that they're doing a value menu for everyone. 12 ounce certain beers. I saw, I think it's like Miller High Lifes and some other beer, like a random beer. I know people were a little upset with that, but it's just like, guys, they're going to sell a ton of Bud Light and Budweiser anyway. They might as well put the stuff that people aren't drinking as much on special. That's how businesses work. That's how deals work.
Is this every game? Is this for every game, or is this like specific? Okay.
As far as I know, yeah.
I saw this for the first time this morning when you guys sent it in our chat.
Yeah, it came out this morning, so it's.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I just wanted to point it out. It's a cool thing that the Orioles are doing. Obviously, we know it's crazy the price hikes at certain stadiums, especially recently. So it's nice to see a little bit of a break from the Orioles there.
It seems like
this
the first
and this comes after. Yeah, this comes after we just hired the Atlanta.
There you go.
The Atlanta food and beverage financial guy. I forget what his title was, but he did Atlanta, the Braves. I think he did the Falcons as well.
Yeah.
So he's not like, he's actually like the financial guy. But I mean, the reason why they're able to do that down there is because Blank actually owns the food, that food industry, I believe. I think he owns Levy. I'm not 100% sure on that, but or he has some kind of ownership in it. I can't remember what it was, but regardless, people were bitching about the prices at Oriole Park with the new ownership coming in. They're like, oh, all the prices are going up. You're taking away some of our benefits and you're not going out and spending all this money. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, guys, this is how business works. Like if the team's shitty, prices are going to go down. They're going to try to get people to the park. It's basic economics. Like if the team's good, revenue's going up, prices are probably going to start going up a little bit.
I wonder how that works. Because I know, like, I think it's Delaware North or Aramark owns the concessions at Canham Yards. So I don't know.
Not Delaware North anymore. That's who I used to work for.
Okay. I don't know how they there's got to be some sort of contractual agreement. Maybe you got to keep prices within some sort of range. I would assume.
Not really. You can. It just depends on, like, you have to meet with like the group, and I mean, basically you have to see how much you want to make on your stuff. Like you can set your margins on all that stuff. And honestly, they're probably not making any money or losing money on this deal. So they're just going to make their money elsewhere, which is great because everybody. I mean, watching McAfee talk about the Falcons Stadium this week for the national championship and the pricing for everything, he was giving huge shout outs to that. And I think there's going to be a lot of other stadiums starting to follow suit, trying to make that more affordable because game day tickets are so expensive now. So expect to pay more for tickets. I know Big Town was saying like prices kind of doubled for tickets. I think you're going to expect to pay more for tickets, but I think food prices will continue to come back down.
Whoa, wait. His tickets went from $46 to over $100
for opening day.
Oh, okay. All right. The opening day is a bit of a different animal. I thought it was every game. Like, holy shit.
If that was an every game thing, that would be a wild number.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean, do you guys want to talk about Kirby Yates to the Dodgers, or are we just sick of talking about everyone going to the Dodgers? We can move on from baseball if you guys want.
I mean,
we're going to talk about the same thing.
The Dodgers just called me. I might be going there too. I don't know. Like, Jesus Christ. They're going to need a second dugout.
He had a 1.17 last year, and he was like the most coveted free agent reliever left. And it was like the 8th story on ESPN that they got him because they're just signing everyone. Nobody cares. Whatever.
Bunch of holes in that dugout.
Yeah. CBA comes up in 2 years. I have a feeling we might be headed towards a lockout. We'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Let's stay positive and move off of baseball. Let's talk about the national championship game the other night. Did you guys get a chance to watch it?
Yeah.
Were you interested in it? Did you think it was a good game? Did you ever think that Notre Dame had a legitimate chance to win when they were making that little comeback in the fourth quarter? Take it wherever you want. Brian, you go first.
I did. I thought they had a legitimate chance. You could see the momentum was swinging their direction. Coming out of halftime, I thought Marcus Freeman looked like a guy who got hit over the head with a bat because he just like he was lost, like a tidal wave was like actually about to hit him. And then they came out, they made a couple good plays. I didn't think Notre Dame had that kind of firepower in them in a singular half of a game, and they proved us wrong. But give credit to Ohio State; they were a runaway train. I mean, they were on fire. Their defense is stellar. I mean, that D line crushed. And I said that the matchup that would really, judge this game was Ohio State's wide receivers versus Notre Dame corners, and Notre Dame's corners play man coverage, and you get that guy. Is it Jeremiah Smith?
Mm-hmm.
That kid. Now, I got a question for you guys before we even go any more in depth on the national championship game. Would you rather have Jeremiah Smith or Travis Hunter? If they were in the same draft, which one would you take?
Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah. Are we just talking about Travis Hunter as a receiver, or what are we?
He's not going to play both ways in the NFL.
He's not going to play, but you're right. I'd take Jeremiah Smith, but he's not eligible for the draft because he's like 17 years old.
He should wrap himself up in bubble wrap and not play another snap in college.
Do the Jamar Chase thing and just be like, I'm just not going to play this year. I'm going to get top 5 anyway.
Yeah, he could do that.
I mean, straight up, he could.
Yeah, he could. I don't want to deviate too much. I want you guys to get your opinion on the championship game.
So I think this is where NIL I think is good. It's good. He's going to play because he's going to get paid, or because if he doesn't, he's not going to get paid. That's the whole reason why Jamar Chase sat out, because he didn't want to get hurt for his paycheck that he was going to get to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
And another thing where I think NIL has kind of been good with everything here is the percentage of, I should say, underclassmen, I guess. There's more seniors in the draft than there are juniors, is how I guess I should put it. So people are staying the entire time, which is great. We just need to put, which I think they will, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, that there's going to be this is a trial and error period, both with the bracket and with NIL. Like, there's stuff coming down. It's going to continue to change from year to year. They're going to start putting guardrails on this stuff. It's not going to be the Wild Wild West like it is now, because everybody sees it. Everybody understands. Everybody doesn't like it. But there is some good coming from it. So we need to shout that out as well. People are staying in college now. If we can start getting a little bit more motivation to stay a little bit more loyal to stay at your school, or put something like bringing back where, like, if you transfer to another Division I school, you have to sit out a year again. So it makes it less attractive to transfer. And so there's going to be stuff. I don't know what it is, but they're going to put some guardrails on this stuff.
We're getting into contracts. Sooner or later, contracts are going to be getting signed, because right now they're putting on.
Sure. And they need to put guardrails on that, like in terms of like representation and stuff like that, so these kids don't get taken advantage of, because they are right now. And I guess to go back to the national championship game, I was like, at halftime, I was like, all right, here we go again. Ohio State's going to blow out this overrated Irish team. Irish is in over their heads again. So, I mean, I was damn near shocked that they made that comeback, and I thought they could. I mean, they were rolling, man. I mean, they were just too far back at that point, but they had a chance, and I thought that there was a pretty damn good chance that they could get back there, get back to tying that ball game up.
I was thinking of Dusty.
I was impressed.
I was thinking of Dusty, because there was a backdoor cover there when it got to 8 points. I'm thinking Dusty's probably shitting himself.
Yeah, that field goal at the end that didn't ended up mattering for a lot of people, including me. But yeah, it was nice to see that one go through.
What mattered?
What did you guys think? It mattered for the well, you're right. Yeah.
It made it a 2-possession game, so it made it impossible.
What did you guys think about the decision to kick the field goal down 16 when they had the 4th and goal on like the 8-yard line? The one that the Notre Dame ended up missing. It was in the 4th quarter. They were down by 16. There was like 8 minutes left at that point. They decided it was fourth and goal from like the 8. They decided to kick the field goal. It ended up clanking off the post, and it didn't work out for them. I know Marcus Freeman took a lot of flack for that, because even if you make it, you're down 2 scores, still down 2 touchdowns. What did you guys think about that decision? Did you think it was the right decision, or do you think it was just game script dependent? What do you got on that?
I thought the momentum had just started to shift in Notre Dame's favor, and I would have went for it. Now, obviously, it's easy to say that revisionist history is beautiful, because he ends up missing the field goal, so everyone can give shit to him.
Yeah,
but I thought he should have went for it.
What? So what was the situation again? I know. Was it 4th and 8?
It's fourth and goal from like the 8-yard line. Riley Leonard
Okay.
ran on the first goal play. They got stuffed, and then he missed 2 throws in a row, and it was 4th and goal from the 8. And they're down 16 with like roughly 9 minutes left in the college championship game.
I'd probably kick it.
So you kick
And
it.
the reason,
you're still down 2 touchdowns. That's the thing.
You're
That's
still
the
down
thing on the internet.
Yeah, but I mean, if you go for it and make it, you're still down 2 scores.
What do you mean?
No,
you're down 16. You can go for 2-point conversion and get to 16 if he
goes for 2-point
I mean, either way, it's a crazy thing. I think just based on how Riley Leonard plays and how Ohio State's defense was playing at that point in the game, I understand the decision. When I was watching the game, when I was watching the game, I was like, okay, I know analytics say you should go for this, but like, if you watch the game, like it did not feel like they were going to get 8 yards. It just didn't. So I understand what Marcus Freeman was thinking. I just wanted to push back on the internet's destruction of him over that. But I thought he coached a really good
8.5 minutes left. That's a lot of time to score 2 touchdowns. You just got to really be trusting your defense to get some stops.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'd rather score 2 touchdowns and just kick the extra point than having to go for 2 on those. I don't know. That 8 yards is a lot.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Fourth and goal from the 8 would be tough for the best offense in the league against the bad defense. You know what I mean? It's just like that offense, which is throwing, is not their specialty. Their bread and butter is to run the ball, and obviously you're not going to run the ball from the 8 on the goal line. And that Ohio State defense is just a terrible matchup because they have freak athletes all over the field.
And if I'm Ohio State, I'm selling out for the run or the QB run or some kind of. I'm selling out on some kind of
weird
run there.
Gimmick,
Make them throw it. But I mean, I don't disagree.
Kid from Wisconsin going to Miami. Wisconsin says he has a 2-year contract. Look, I think we're going to see more of that. We'll see more 2- and 3-year contracts from these guys transferring. I think the teams
it's interesting because they just signed. Miami just got what's his name from Georgia,
Carson Beck. Yeah, I don't know if this kid is a quarterback or what. I haven't looked into this. But
you're right. I guess I was just assuming it was a quarterback. I don't know why.
Yeah. There's a great website called On 3. They're pretty spot on with their NIL valuations. And I think Carson Beck is the number 2 highest valuation. Number 1 is Arch Manning. And I believe Jeremiah Smith's number 3. Because right now he's probably saying, hey, what am I worth now? He's probably worth $5-6 million. It's wild to think.
I mean, Carson Beck's going to make more money he's going to make more money than the Steelers quarterbacks combined made this year.
Speaking of, Dustin's not very popular in the Steelers community right now.
That's fine. I don't care. I mean, look.
You shouldn't care. I wouldn't care either.
I don't care at all. If they want to trade us Mike Tomlin for John Harbaugh right now, I'd do it. First year.
Now you're not going to be very popular in the Ravens community.
I don't care. He's a better coach. First year with the 12-team playoff. First year with the 12-team playoff. I think general consensus is that the best team won. Do you guys agree? Do you think Ohio State was the best team in college football?
Yes.
Okay. So first year of the 12-man playoff, obviously a lot of hiccups up front, but the best team and the right team, it feels like, still ended up winning. Do we think this is a win for college football? Do we think this playoff is a net loss for college football? How do we think it played out in general?
I mean, I think it was fine. It's a win regardless. It's a win because I think the college playoffs was a win. We all found out that there's going to be reseeding. Apparently, every single conference president was down there at the national championship in meetings with the NCAA president as well, going over basically what's like we need to figure out next year. So shit's changing. They're gonna make it better, and then they'll figure out something that's wrong next year that they didn't think about probably like they did this year, and they're like, all right, this isn't the right solution. We need to reseed. We can't have like Arizona State's and Boise State having a bye, or SMU, whoever had the bye. So it's going to get better. I think it's a win. I think I enjoyed it. I really did. I mean, 2 teams were in the national championship that probably wouldn't have gotten into like if there's a 4-team playoff, and we all agree that we think that Ohio State was probably the best team. So I think it's a win.
Yeah. Brian?
Yeah, I mean, nothing really else to say there. Brooks kind of hit it on the head. Good job.
Yeah. I think it's a stepping stone year. I think we learned a lot. Hopefully, the NCAA learned a lot, and we'll find out next year if they did. Based on their history, I'm not super confident, but hopefully they learned a lot this year, and they'll be able to reseed as the sort of the tournament goes on, and maybe kind of rethink how they structure the whole playoffs in general. But I do think it's a success because the final game was two classic college football teams, two teams that were playing their best football of the year at the time. So I think it's a win, and I do think the best team won, which we don't always see. And that's okay.
I have seen a lot of people on Twitter saying like, "Oh, congrats, you guys won with the $20 million payroll." From me listening to McAfee a lot, because this is like the highest one that's come out that people know about. He's like, man, there's a lot of teams around the country that are paying a lot more money than this, and they're sitting there saying that's all they're paying. So people think that this is the highest. Apparently, it's not even close.
I'm sure
From Texas A&M,
Texas A&M, Oklahoma. All
honestly, just look where College Game Day went this year. Obviously, McAfee's been there. He talks to all those places. He talks to everybody that's there. He's pretty good about getting a feel for what's going on at these programs, and he was like, yeah, there is a lot. There's quite a few teams that are saying that's all they're paying. And that's something to think about. So, and it's just going to keep going up because these donors are ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. I mean, good year of college football. It's always fun to watch. I do want to say one thing. Why is this game always on a Monday night? I hate it. Why didn't they just play this game on Friday night before leading into the NFL? Because everyone watched the NFL games all weekend. Didn't even think about this college game. At least all the people I talked to, all the people that I talked to are on Sunday were, they're huge football fans, and they didn't give a shit about that game because all they cared about was the NFL games. Do we think that that's a problem, or do you think that that's just me overthinking it?
No, I don't think it's overthinking it. I mean, anytime you can play a game where you're going to have off the next day from work for the people that have the normal 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, it just makes too much sense. Maybe this is a contractual thing with the stadiums they have lined up for these bowl games. I mean, notoriously, as long as I can remember, the national championship has always been on a Monday. But I could see them changing it to a Friday.
Yeah. Well, I guess it would be hard to, like, theoretically, right, if Atlanta makes it to the playoffs and they have a home game. So I don't know if that goes into it as well.
It could be that. It could be that. Can you turn around the stadium that quickly?
Well, could they? On the flip side, can they turn it around in time if they're going to play the national championship on Monday and Atlanta plays on Saturday or Sunday? I don't know.
Yeah, good point.
Push it back 1 week and make it the week the Pro Bowl is, or the Pro Bowl used to be, or whatever. There's no football next weekend, and everyone's going to be watching golf or basketball or whatever. Why don't you just put it on that weekend when we don't have anything to watch? You could put it on Sunday.
Oh, I mean, they might have to, since they're expanding another two teams next year. So they might have to.
Yeah.
So and then I could work out perfect.
Push the Super Bowl back 1 more week. It's President's Day weekend, then everybody has Monday off anyway. I mean, makes some sense, but we need a sports czar.
Makes too much sense, right?
Put all this stuff together.
My that was awesome of the week is the Buffalo Bills fans donating to Mark Andrews' charity.
Totally agree with that. Saw a lot of real shit stuff on the internet that was sent to Mark Andrews and his girlfriend, which is fucking ridiculous. If you're sending angry messages to Mark Andrews' girlfriend, you need to get a fucking life. You're such a loser.
That should be our show. That's a shame. Is the death threats and stuff going to both Mark Andrews and his girlfriend? That's bullshit from Ravens fans. That's embarrassing. Whoever's doing that, you've honestly just embarrassed the city of Baltimore, and you should find a new team.
Yeah. We'll be fine without you. We'll be totally fine without you.
Nothing wrong with being frustrated with the guy. He obviously had a bad game, and it's a big game. But this is not appropriate behavior. This is not how we treat other people. It doesn't matter. He's a human. He made a mistake. He was trying to catch the ball. He just didn't. It's not like he just dropped it.
You don't think he's upset about it?
Yeah, you think he's happy? Anyway, much love to Mark Andrews. I hope he's reaching out to friends and not just going through this by himself, because this is the kind of thing that really can get to you long term, and it just sucks.
And great, I mean, great for him by the Bills fans. I don't know what his foundation is, but I'm sure it has probably something to do with diabetes, given that he is a diabetic. So,
other NFL stuff while we're talking about it, the Patriots hired Josh McDaniels to be their offensive coordinator for what seems like the 400th time. I like the move. I think he's a good offensive coordinator. He's proven that over the course of his career, especially.
I think he's proven that's what he is. He's not a head
exactly.
coach.
He's not a good head coach. He's not a good leader of men. We found that out. They also hire, I want to get his name right, Terrell Williams as their defensive coordinator. He was the defensive line coach and run game coordinator for the Detroit Lions. So they're stealing some of that Lions energy. And of course, Vrabel, a defensive guy himself, is probably going to be doing a brunt of that work as well. Do we like this hire for the Patriots? Because I like it. I think it makes perfect sense.
That makes total. This is a no-brainer. It allows Vrabel to really focus on the defense, which is his specialty anyway. McDaniels knows his way to the facility. Not going to have to give him directions. So it makes way too much sense. And then it looks like the Lions are just getting pillaged.
Oh my God!
As expected. I mean, it looks like Aaron Glenn's going to end up being the New York Jets coach by the end of today. So.
It seems that way, and they already hired Ben Johnson away. We didn't get to talk about that either. That was the next thing I wanted to bring up. What do we think about the Ben Johnson to Chicago thing? Do we think he will help develop Caleb into a better quarterback, or do we think it's going to be tough because the other three teams in that division don't seem like they're going anywhere?
I think it's going to be tough. That division sucks in terms of it sucks to play in because it's so good.
Yeah.
It's got to be better than what he had this year. I think he's going to give him a lot more easy reads, throws, whatever. I think it's got to help with his development. There's no doubt about it. I just hope they really invest into a line for this dude. They've got talent there that they can work with. There's no reason he should not get better next year. I think if this was a no-brainer. So
yeah.
It was just convincing Ben Johnson to come there.
Yeah, I mean, look, Ben Johnson's a proven commodity as a coordinator. We have no fucking idea what he's going to be like as a head coach. As a head coach, now you got to get in front of the media all the time. You got to take care of all the teams instead of just one facet or one unit on the field. So, look, I thought maybe Pete Carroll should be the move here. I think I mentioned it a podcast or two ago. He's a proven commodity. He knows how to do it. He still acts like a 45, 50-year-old coach, even though he's in his 70s. I'm not saying Ben Johnson's going to be bad. I'm just saying I would go with the proven commodity in Pete Carroll.
It shows a lot about Trevor Lawrence. Nobody wants to coach him. I think Aaron Glenn is still pretty high up in the running there. I
saw the offensive coordinator Cohen, I think is his name, just pulled his name out of the Jags job.
The Bucs offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen, who was a first-year offensive coordinator this year because the Bucs offensive coordinator last year took the Panthers job. I think Dave Canales is his name.
Mm-hmm.
New Bucs coordinator just said basically, I'm going to stay with the Bucs. I don't want to be the Jags coach. He didn't want to move that far in Florida.
What's going on there?
Down Florida.
What is going on there? I mean, it seems like a decent job.
Glenn going to the Saints, in your opinion, to draft who he wants? Okay. That's a thought. If I were a coach looking for a job, I think that's the exact last place I would want to go.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Well, they're stuck with Derek Carr for another year or two. They've got no semblance of being having any chance of being good in the next couple of years. I mean, at least with the Raiders, at least Brady's there. I don't know. I don't think the Raiders job and the Jags job are any better, I guess, or are that much better than the New Orleans job. But I don't know. I don't know if anyone wants that job.
I don't think there's really a good answer where to go.
Yeah. I kind of think that the Jags would be a good place for Pete Carroll, and then Pete Carroll try to bring in like somebody like Lincoln Riley to mentor and run the offense with Trevor Lawrence. I think that would be an interesting, that's why I kind of thought that what Brian said, that could have been Chicago's deal, was bring both of those in. I just don't know if Lincoln Riley wants to go be an offensive coordinator. That could be a part of it.
Does anybody want him to be?
I don't know. I don't know.
They've been bad the last 2 years.
He's gonna get fired. He's gonna get fired from USC if he has another bad year. He's going. There's no chance he's surviving that. That was what they're fucking paying him.
Yeah. By the way, I know there was some weird talk about Kevin O'Connell possibly getting traded earlier in this year. Kevin O'Connell has reached a multi-year extension with the Vikings, so that's not going to be happening.
Why would that happen?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
He's going to win Coach of the Year. They went 14 games with Sam Darnold, who we just saw in the last 2 games, but that actually mattered. Is not actually that good of a quarterback, or at least didn't show it in the last 2 weeks. I don't know why the Vikings would even consider trading him unless it was like getting off the 3 or 4 first rounders.
It was somebody on Dan Patrick's show who said it was like Albert Breer or Tom Pelissero brought that up, and I was just like, what?
I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. Somebody must have been saying something. Something must have been in the air, but obviously that's not going to happen now. So we can push that. Also, we talked a couple weeks ago. Khalil Mack wasn't sure if he was going to be playing next year. He has decided he will return. He will return in 2025, so he's going to be playing at least one more season. I think he's a free agent, though.
He is.
Yeah, so unrestricted free agent. So, yeah, I mean, maybe a guy, if you need a pass rusher, a veteran pass rusher, I mean.
Could be a Ravens pickup.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Jair Alexander buzz. I saw some Khalil Mack buzz. I saw a lot of people like us to take that Jack Sawyer kid based on where we're slotted in the draft. That could work out. The edge rusher from Ohio State. I don't know. Obviously, it's off-season talk, but we're not in the off-season yet. We still do have football games, despite the fact that the Ravens are not going to be playing in any of them. Unfortunately. Do you guys want to talk about the playoff games this weekend, or do you have anything else you want to talk about before we get into the games this weekend? Brian, what were you about to say? I cut you off.
I was just going to ask what you guys do for the Super Bowl normally. Do you work it, Dustin?
No. I worked the Super Bowl for a couple years when I was working at Abbey Burger in Baltimore, and I vowed I would never willingly work a Super Bowl again, because nobody goes to the bars for the Super Bowl. Unless your home team is in it, nobody's going to go to the bar. Everyone goes to a house party. Everyone orders takeout. And it's just not a good night to work, because I'm a huge football fan. I want to sit there and watch a game. I can't enjoy it if I'm sitting there at the bar. And if you're making money, at least you can justify it that way. But in my experience, a couple Super Bowls I worked, I did not make any money, and I did not have any fun because I didn't get to watch the game. So I do not work the Super Bowl, but I usually go over to my friend Joey's house. He makes a bunch of food, and he's got an 80-inch TV in his room. And we just sit on the couch, like 10 of us, and watch the game.
Oh, yeah. What about you, Brooksy? I mean, I know you got the little guy, you got Banksy, but
yeah, I mean, it just depends on if my wife's working the next day. So, because she's got to get up at 4:30 to get to work. So, if she's working the next day, we'll just be watching it from home. So,
playing
with
cars,
then we'll playing with cars, watching cars. Some kind of cars is going to be involved.
Are they doing a next broadcast of the game? Maybe we can get Banks in that.
I know. Yeah. He actually there are times where he's like, I want to watch football. I want to watch touchdown.
All right. I want to watch touchdown.
Yeah.
I think when Brooks and I were watching the Arizona State Texas game, I think Banks threw about 200 cars through the duration of that game onto the floor. It was just mind-boggling to watch.
Yeah, he's a big fan of cars, man. He's throwing them.
Yeah, that he is.
He's a stud. He's going to break some hearts.
Yeah. All right, Brooks, you want to get the lines up? You want to talk about these games? And
let's do it.
I mean, I can do it too if you want.
But grab another drink real quick. Be right back, boys.
Can you change the background, because I'm not good with that. Yeah, Brian's gonna grab a drink. We're gonna talk about the games this weekend. We have just only 3 more football games left, guys. It's a real sad time of the year, where we have to really lock in on these games, because there's not many of them left. I think that looks good. I'm just going to keep it like that. Not going to touch it. Okay. We've got 2 games, as you can see on the screen. I wish I could just make them just a little bit bigger. And we're good. But now you can't see the teams. So the first game of the weekend or on Sunday is going to be the NFC game, NFC East matchup, Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. What do we think about this spread? Do we think this is the right number at 6 here, Brooks?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be weather dependent here too. But yeah, I mean that feels right to me, doesn't it?
Yeah, I do. I do. The number against the Lions, especially now looking back, it was too high. 9.5. I do still think the Lions are the better team. I don't think that they obviously golfed through a couple picks that were really bad, and I think they abandoned the run a little bit too much. I don't think Philly's going to do that. Philly is not the kind of team that gets into these situations where they turn the ball over in rapid succession. Also, they have Saquon Barkley, and Washington's run defense is not spectacular. So I just think if there's any kind of weather in this game, I think that Philly benefits from it, just because I think they're going to be able to ground and pound. And we've seen Jaden Daniels now play 2 awesome playoff games as a rookie, but we haven't really seen him win a big game in the cold, and he hasn't played in any, so it's not his fault. But I'm just unsure of what it's going to look like. If it looks like it did last weekend and it's snowing and it's 20 degrees in Philly, I don't know if the Commanders are going to be able to put up 45 points. What do you guys think, Brian? What do you think about the Commanders-Eagles matchup, and do you think the weather will play a factor if there is any? You're on mute, by the way.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't think the weather's going to play a factor. I understand. I heard what you said about cold weather affecting Jaden Daniels specifically.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Commanders are a cold weather team. The temperature in Washington is usually the same in Philly.
Yeah.
I like the Eagles in this game. I think right now they're starting to fire on all cylinders. They kind of remind me of Ohio State, but the NFL version. So I like them, and I like the Eagles in this game, and I like them to cover. It almost seems like the Commanders have this season is a success, and you come off that emotional high of beating the Lions. So I think this is going to be, for lack of a term, a letdown game for the Commanders.
Fair, Brooks.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles to cover as well. I'm not like super confident on that right now. But, I'll be rooting for the Commanders, the Commandskins, the Durs, whatever you want to call them. I'll be rooting for them, and I keep picking against them. So I'm going to keep picking against them and hope they win, to be honest with you. So I
want them to win. I really want that Washington Buffalo Super Bowl.
That's my rooting interest right now.
Yeah.
And that are those two teams. But do I believe that they will 100% win and cover? No, but
yeah.
I'll take Philly with the points, but not real confident in that.
I am pretty confident in Philly.
47.5 points. That's a lot of points.
I agree. But if you look at the Washington games over the last few weeks, I mean, it definitely could be that way. It just feels like we've seen this game already. For me, at least, it's going to be Jalen Hurts is going to only have to throw for like 150 or 200 yards. Saquon Barkley is going to carry the brunt of the offense. A.J. Brown's going to be pissed off on the sideline because they're not throwing it to him, but they're going to be up 2 touchdowns at the same time. I just don't I feel like I can see the game in my head already. It feels like Eagles by 2 touchdowns. I 100% with you guys. I'm totally going to be rooting for the Commanders. This is almost a little bit of a reverse jinx pick for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm so confident in the Eagles right now. But I'm going to take the Eagles, and I'm going to take the same prop I took last week, which was Saquon Barkley's rushing longest rush over whatever it is. If it's 20, 22, 23, I don't really care if it's 29. I'm going to take it because I know he's going to break one. It just feels like it's inevitable. I do think that the weather would help Philly. If there is no weather, I think that helps the Commanders. I don't trust either of the kickers. I don't know if it will play a huge role, but it certainly has in games we've seen this season. But it's a divisional matchup. The third time these teams have seen each other.
What is the weather?
I don't know exactly, and obviously, whatever the forecast is now
Cold.
is not going to be exactly right. But I will look it up.
I feel like it's freaking cold everywhere right now. Do you guys see the snow in Pensacola, Florida right now?
I did
No.
not see that. I saw that there was like 9 inches of snow in New Orleans yesterday, which is their record by like 6 inches.
I saw on Instagram or late last night that there was 2 inches of snow on the beach in Pensacola or as of last night, and it was still snowing.
Ooh, wow. Okay, so Philly
Oh.
is it the same weather as us? It's 20 degrees yesterday, today, tomorrow. 30 degrees Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, 44 degrees, partly cloudy. So the doesn't look like there's
Okay.
going to be any kind of snow. It's going to get a little bit warmer. It looks like on Sunday. 44 degrees is warm this time of year. Really warm. So we'll see. Maybe there won't be. It says there was a couple rain clouds, so maybe it'll rain. Maybe it won't. Who knows? But yeah, I think we're all team riding here with the Eagles, but we're all rooting for the Red Manders. Yeah, that's all I got on that game. Do you guys want to move on to Buffalo KC? I haven't even thought about this game.
Yeah, let's move on. And I'm taking Buffalo. It's got to happen at some point. We can't let this happen again. We can't let like a less than stellar KC team. And I see their record. I know what their record is. They're still the Chiefs. But I mean, we all watch the games, man. Like this just doesn't feel like it's it. Doesn't feel like it's the team. It didn't feel like that last year, but look what happened. Yeah, give me the Bills. Give me the Bills. They got. I want to see Josh Allen finally pull through against Patrick Mahomes. That'd be nice.
I'm going to go with two reverse jinxes here. I'm taking the Chiefs. I think Buffalo looked really beatable against us last week. I don't think we played very good at all in the first half, and we still had a very good chance to win that game, barring some turnover stuff. I don't think Buffalo's defense is very good. I don't think Kansas City's offense is very good. So I think that matchup kind of cancels itself out. I just trust Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in this situation more than I do Josh Allen. I want them to win desperately. I do not want to see Chiefs Eagles in the Super Bowl, but I have a feeling that's where we're going to go. So I'm going to take the Chiefs here, and I've got no feel for the over/under here. I'm not even going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Brian, what do you think?
Look up the weather, Dustin.
I'm trying to figure out what is a bill.
It's a buffalo.
It's a buffalo.
They just couldn't call them the Buffalo Buffaloes, so they had to find a synonym.
Is it a type of buffalo?
I don't know. I'm not real versed in the Buffalo game.
You're versed in the Buffalo Trace game. I know that.
What is a bill? Oh, I'm just a bill. No, not I'm just a bill.
I'll take a Buffalo in this game. To Brooks's point, it's time. It's time to beat the shit out of the Chiefs for the Bills. They've earned it.
Okay, so no, a bill is not a type of buffalo, but the Buffalo Bills football team is named after Buffalo Bill Cody, a famous American frontiersman and buffalo hunter. So there
he's
you go.
He's a Wild West guy.
So he's named after Bill. He's named after a guy named Bill.
Bisons had been the traditional nickname for Buffalo teams for many years, but the winning choice was the Bills after Buffalo Bill Cody. Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Well, I hope all of our viewers have learned something today. You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Sunday, Kansas City weather, 34 degrees, partly cloudy. 34 degrees, partly cloudy. No rain or precipitation. I would imagine Sunday night, so it's going to be colder than that because this game is at 6:30. I would imagine this game's probably going to be somewhere around 25 degrees, but it's not going to rain. So it's going to be cold, but obviously both of these teams are very adept in the cold. I don't think that'll be an issue. Last time we saw these two meet in the playoffs, it was probably one of the best games that's ever been played in the history of the NFL. I don't have a problem saying that. But yeah, I'm going reverse jinx here on both of them. I'm rooting for Bills Manders. I think it's probably going to be Chiefs Eagles because, that's just what history tells me. I mean, do you guys have any other thoughts on these games? Do we think there's game script things that you like? Obviously, I think we like Travis Kelce in the playoffs to go off. Do you have any other players that stand out other than Kelsey and Saquon in these matchups?
I mean,
Scary Terry could go. We think James Cook could have a big game here. Like, what do we like?
I wonder. I always forget his first name. Quinyon Mitchell.
Quinyon Mitchell, Toledo.
Is he playing in this game?
I don't know.
Because him on Terry McLaurin on Scary Terry will be a big.
Well, if they don't, they still have Darius Slay.
I might need to change my pick. This guy, Buffalo Bill Cody, had never even visited Buffalo or New York. Like, what the hell? Where do you get this name? How do you name this guy? How do you name your mascot after this guy? Like
Ian Rappaport and Mike
his family settled in Kansas for a while, so that's why you keep losing to Kansas City.
Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo,
even though it's in Missouri,
both tweeted out in the last 10 minutes. Both Jalen Hurts and Quinyon Mitchell will be present at the walkthrough today. It's just a walkthrough practice, so we don't really know. We just don't really know yet. It's too early.
This guy was born in Iowa, died in Colorado. What the hell are we doing?
What's Buffalo about that guy? He never had a chicken wing in his life.
I just ruined Brooks's day.
He probably didn't even like blue cheese. He probably liked ranch.
Well, I like ranch.
I'm a ranch guy too.
Yeah, oh my god, I can't believe I have to host
America's dressing.
I do like ranch. I just think blue cheese on chicken wings is far superior.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Tim Anderson to the Angels. That is not news. Tim Anderson has not been good at baseball for several years. Sorry, Big Dan, I love you, but Tim Anderson sucks.
Can't take a punch. Can't take a punch.
He can't take a punch. It seems like 100 years ago he was awesome in that Field of Dreams game. Remember that White Sox Yankees Field of Dreams game? That game was awesome.
That was awesome. I think Brooks is still reading up on Bill Cody here.
Yeah, he's just going down a rabbit hole. Hopefully there's a documentary you can watch about him.
He's just stewing. Have you guys ever been to Buffalo?
Nope.
I have not. I know some friends who were there this weekend and didn't have a great time.
Yeah, we gotta ask Ranger for Blue Cheese. Hey, there you go, Joe. Yeah, Joe.
3-1, I guess.
Yeah. I wonder. Maybe we can text Rip. I'm assuming Rye Ripken went to Anchor Bar or whatever to get some buffalo wings when they're up there. That's like the original buffalo wing joint.
I've heard that is not the place to go though.
Really?
You know, like from people who have been to Buffalo to get wings, they've told me other places, and I can't remember them, but I can pull them up on my phone at some point. But anyway, I don't want to throw shade at Anchor Bar because I've never been there. I shouldn't be doing that, but
you're pissing off everybody. You're pissing off Bills fans.
Yeah, I'm just the real true art of it is to just make everyone so angry. You know, it's just to make everyone angry, and
although they seem like the nicest fan base, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
they do. I always love when they would when they have away games, and I guess they're probably going to be doing this week. They Buffalo fans that are going to whatever city they're going to, they check folding tables at the airport to go through airport security so they can take them to the tailgate and jump through them.
Really?
Like crazy people.
Just buy it when you get there.
What's the folding table market in Buffalo like? Is it like plus 500% when they're in the playoffs or something?
During football season?
Can you find one? You'd have to drive like an hour away from Buffalo to even get anywhere near a folding table that's intact.
Maybe Brooks, that the fans of Buffalo are probably thinking like, wait, all the department stores are going to take or warehouse stores are going to take the folding tables off the floor so that they can't buy them and jump through them in the tailgate. Yeah. But yeah, it was like last year or 2 years ago, they were checking folding tables at the airport, wherever the hell they were going. It's so great.
It's actually people who want to tailgate and not jump through stuff. They just want to put their stuff on a table.
Yeah.
Because they're probably just like all these drunk idiots who think they're Jeff Hardy are ruining it for everyone. Anyway. There was a TGL thing last night. I didn't get to watch it. I saw it was another blowout. Did you get to watch it at all, Brian? Or we didn't have to talk about it.
It was during the teenies. It's during the teenies and weenies party. How many times can you say that? We had it on for a little bit, but wasn't really paying attention. I saw the score. It's not a blowout. I think this is the third one they've done, and all three have been blowouts.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, I told you guys on Monday it looked like they were going to do the Genesis Invitational at TPC Waste Management, or the TPC Scottsdale for Waste Management. It looks now like instead they're going to be doing it at Torrey Pines so they can keep it in California. I think it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, nothing's official yet, but that's the way it's leaning now, as opposed to the way it was leaning last week or a couple days ago when I gave you that information. So I just wanted to clear that up for you guys. They are playing Torrey Pines right now, but the Riviera tournament isn't supposed to be for like another 3 or 4 weeks anyway. So anyway,
all right, Rip might come on. We'll see.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Depends on how timing works out here.
I was going to say, I was thinking we were going to get wrapped up. What do you guys want to talk about? I don't have anything else to talk about here.
What about see any of the stuff about Danny Hurley?
What now?
He's just
clown.
Look, when you win and you act the way he does, no one really gives a shit. UConn's still a good team, but they're not what they were the past couple years. And the camera is consistently on him, and rightfully so. He's probably one of the best coaches in basketball, but he's just berating refs to a point that it's getting embarrassing.
I mean, I feel like basketball is doing this in general, and I'm kind of over it.
I don't even care if they're winning games, because people can look. Sometimes, like I said, people will look past being an asshole when you're winning. I don't even care. Me personally, I don't give a damn. The camera's directly on him, and you can read his lips, and he says, "Don't turn your back on me. I'm the best fucking coach in the country."
Did he say that?
Yeah. And like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And like, they won the game, great. Who cares? But don't treat people like they're fucking holes in the floor.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I did not see that. I feel like that would have been all over my timeline.
Yeah, it's
I did see it a little bit, but I was just looking into it on my phone. But I haven't looked into it far enough to.
I'm the best coach in the fucking sport, is what he said.
Good for him. Good for him.
And he said before he said that statement, he said, "Don't turn your back on me." So I mean, whatever.
Are they winning right now? Are they?
They sucked earlier. That for sure.
They just beat Butler 80-78. They're still ranked, I believe, and like they're like in the middle of the pack. They're still a good team, but it just he just comes off as a pompous ass.
Yeah, he really does.
That's for sure. I'm trying to pull up a video and I'm getting ads, so I'm just not gonna win anyway. Yeah, I mean it's stupid. It's frustrating. I don't think.
Rip's coming on in a couple minutes.
All right, Rip's coming on in a couple minutes. We'll keep vamping here. What is this, Dusty? I know we're all hockey guys, or we enjoy hockey to an extent. What is this thing about the Caps goalie bitching about nachos being thrown on the ice?
I didn't see this either, but I saw the Caps win last night. I watched the whole game.
I haven't watched a ton of the Caps recently, the last couple of weeks, so I don't really feel like I'm kind of out of it at the moment.
John Calipari is the best coach ever. Don't let the 0-5 fool you. Are you guys 0-5 in the SEC right now, Joe?
No. No.
I got to look this up. I have not looked up Arkansas basketball at all.
How is Arkansas football not just absolutely stellar when you have Jerry Jones, one of the richest people in the country? He could just drop like $50 million in Arkansas's lap for them to go out and get a bunch of players.
Wow, Arkansas is in last place in the SEC at 0-5, tied with South Carolina. That is crazy.
I mean, Maryland
tied for 15th place in the SEC.
Joe's going to drive to Maryland and kick the shit out of us.
I'm sorry, Joe. That's brutal. Give him a couple years. He'll get some one and dones, and then you guys will have a couple good years. I'm sure.
He's coming. Maryland's got Illinois to finally, hopefully, get a road victory since we can't win on the road to save our life.
We play Thursday, right? Play tomorrow.
What time they come on? Jerry doesn't give NIL money to the Hogs. Why not?
Why not?
I mean, I know he definitely was a part of getting Cal over there.
Yeah.
Calipari. All right, we got somebody come on talk to us about wings and what he prefers on his wings.
Yeah.
Here's a wild Rip. Let me change our outlook. There you go.
Yeah, right.
What's up,
Ryan?
What's up, guys? How we doing? Happy Wednesday.
So, Rip, we're going to ask you the trivia question that we asked ourselves a minute ago. Do you know what a bill is?
Like
Like the Buffalo Bills, what the Bills are.
I should have asked that. I don't, because I don't have the answer. What do you got for me?
I'll let Brooks go on this one because it's got him all hot and bothered, man.
Named after a fucking person. It's named after a guy named Bill. Like
just like the Browns. Named
he's never been in New York or Buffalo. None of his family. He was born in Iowa, died in Denver. While it's Buffalo Bill Cody. I don't understand the mascot.
How was your experience at Buffalo, Ryan? Sorry, we got you off track here to start.
No, you're good. I mean, it makes so much sense that why wouldn't I think that to start, right? Yeah, well, so question, Buffalo, the wings, they're phenomenal. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of meat on the bone up there too with each one that I had. Like I think it was just the consistency was great, you know? They were all bone-in wings, by the way, if there's like a debate between boneless and bone-in.
Yeah, you love bone-in.
Nice. I like my wings bone-in or boneless. I do like some good boneless buffalo wings, I will say.
Yeah.
But honestly, the quality was great. Had wings at a couple different places. I feel like I hit all the Buffalo things that I need to do, except find out how the Bills got their name. Other than that, I think I figured everything else out.
Are you a ranch or blue cheese guy?
Grew up ranch, developed into blue cheese.
Okay.
Yeah. We're in the same boat there. The other two co-hosts are the opposite. They're both ranch guys, unfortunately.
I like ranch. I think it just as the palate expands, then you sit there and you're like, damn, you know. I like the blue cheese. Just adulting, I guess. You know?
How was your experience in the parking lots before the games with the Buffalo fans? Were they welcoming? Were they how was that? Yeah.
Amazing. Just trying to think. I mean, I think I have one of the videos. I have a lot of videos from I was able to get the local recording from when I tried to tune in on our pregame show. And there's some good moments on there. And I haven't even posted all the videos that I had experienced. But if anyone hasn't been to Buffalo, you need to go to Buffalo. I'm already telling next year the only way that I won't be going to the Ravens playing the Bills next year is if it is on my actual like wedding or wedding weekend. And I don't think I can get out of that one.
Yeah.
But they made the experience. Like, and I say this all the time, like people are passionate about their teams. You can be pissed off, angry, but it's those people in the communities that make it. In Buffalo's, I see why everyone talks about them. Mm-hmm. The Pinto tailgate was electric. I mean, it was unbelievable.
What does that mean?
Every single box of that whole thing.
So what does that mean? I'm not versed in this. Pinto.
So it is, there's a tailgate called the Pinto tailgate. So it's like they bring the Pinto car that is like one of the old models, and it's there. But then they've had, characters that have developed within the tailgate. So there's Pizza Pete, who makes pizza out of a filing cabinet, puts charcoal in there, and it was unbelievable pizza, like unbelievable pizza.
Okay.
Then there's a guy named Pinto Ron. So if you see all the videos, they douse him in ketchup and mustard at the end of the tailgate, except they didn't do it for this one because it was so damn cold. But he's just an awesome dude. His real name's not even Pinto Ron either. It's Kenny, but that's what everyone calls him. And then they have a bowling ball shot that you do, and you have to blow a horn. You throw the bowling ball on the ground. And everyone was welcoming. They wanted me to, they're like, hey, best of luck to you guys. Hope you don't win. Here's a shot, and I'm like, well, this is fantastic. I'll have another. So
I wish every NFL away fan was like that. Obviously they're not.
No. Well, so Pizza Pete's philosophy, I put that out on Instagram yesterday. I said, so what do people need to know about Buffalo? He said, we are welcome to all fans, rooting for us or against us. And we talked off camera and whatnot. And he's just like, this is what it's all about. He goes, I was here when the team was terrible. A lot of those fans in Buffalo, that was one of the guys that walked me to the tailgate, by the way. He's like, hey, you lost. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. And his name's Cliff. And he's like, well, I'm going there. I'm like, oh, great. You're my tour guide. And he goes, I said, tell me about being a Buffalo fan. He goes, well, we didn't do it initially because the team was good. We did it because we love the community, and we do think the Bills are a part of the city. And he goes, we've had a lot of years that sucked, but we've really embraced all of it. And yeah, I mean, there's certain fans that are, can be just malicious and all that crap, but like 98% of the fans there were awesome. And even like leaving the stadium after the game, they're like, sorry, brother. We hope you guys get home safe, be good, and hope the Ravens have a great year next year. I'm like, thanks, you just beat us, and that's the first thing you're telling me? I'm like, in Baltimore, unfortunately, I don't think everyone's going to be saying that.
No.
So,
No.
yeah, it was awesome. I will say my body isn't recovering as quickly as it did, 5 years ago.
Yeah, you look pretty worn out right now.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, I get to working from home today, so it makes it easy. So, yes. But thank you for telling me I look like crap. Thanks.
I mean, you came on drinking your coffee, sounding like you just woke up.
Well, I've been on calls the last few hours. It's just my voice is starting to go. So,
Yeah.
And I do kind of look like shit, I will say.
How was the Baltimore turnout?
It was great. A lot of Baltimore people. Could definitely hear it during the O. The night before, went to a bar to watch the Commanders Lions game, and the whole upstairs was all Baltimore people.
Oh, cool.
Like it was insane. That's the thing. Make no mistake. I think that's what I want people to realize is the Ravens and Bills fan bases are similar in the sense that they're very passionate. They travel well, so there's a lot of people there. But there was a sea of blue in Buffalo, that's for sure. Yeah, there. I think, yeah, I was shocked. There was a lot. I shouldn't say shocked. There was a lot of. Sorry, my brain's not processing. I am not shocked by the Baltimore turnout because they love the team, but I'm also not surprised with what the Bills turnout was because those dudes are loyal. I mean, it was 8 degrees at the tailgate.
Yeah.
And those people were like, I got there at 1:30, and it was already packed. She's like, holy hell. Got some catching up to do.
Was it like a space heater situation, or was there just like no warmth to be had?
In certain areas they had like bonfires around. Yeah. Or like, in like the steel thing, because you can't actually
fire barrels.
Yeah. That's it. That's
like like homeless. You're up there like homeless people.
Well, could have been. I'll tell you what. I don't know how they would survive that. But honestly, like in the tailgate itself, when you walked around, it actually got a little steamy because there was a lot of people and had the warmth too. Now, like, some alcohol definitely helps that. I think it's colder now back here than it felt in Buffalo. Now, again, my memory is a little bit 7 layers, a lot of beverages, hand warmers, so a little bit skewed here.
Who had the best wings? If you had to pick one, who had the best, you think?
So I didn't get a chance to go to Bar Bill, and that one everyone was like, oh, you got to go there. That place apparently was swamped. Gabriel's Gate. We went there, and we apparently beat the rush hour to it because right after we got our wing order in, it took people like an hour or two. And I think that was the one where I sat there and I'm like, none of these wings where I went like, this is the best wing I've ever had. But from wing 1 to about 20, which I think I had 20 wings, I'm like, this is good. This is good. Just like quality. Yeah. Quality was great. And then they were so much in demand. They said if we wanted another round of wings, it was going to take 40 minutes to get wings. That's how many people were ordering them.
Were prices crazy for wings like they are now everywhere for football season, it seems like?
Everything was pretty reasonably priced, to be honest. And maybe just because Buffalo isn't like the hot spot for everything. But yeah, I think we got 60 wings, 50 wings through 4 of us, and I did my fair share. I did my part.
Nice.
You didn't order Old Bay wings, right? You can't do that up there.
No, can't do that up there. I think that'd be frowned upon. That's also like I know Joe might have said it, or some of like Brad was saying it the other day. He's like, if they would have just looked at you differently if you said, "Hey, can I just get boneless wings?" Doing anything that's not just like the traditional. I can't bring my Baltimore nature up there just yet. Like I can't. It's like with people, they come down. They have crab cakes here, right? Like I'm not going to tell them. Oh, they told me like, oh, I want my crab cake with, I don't know, something that is so foreign. I'd probably throw them in the harbor. Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like ordering a cheesesteak in Philly. You got to go in whiz wit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get it as the locals get it.
Yeah. If you say the word ketchup in one of those places, you're just going to get run out of there. Drums better than flats. What are your thoughts on this? I like flats better. I think they're both fried chicken though, so that they're both very good. What are your thoughts, Rock?
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. I definitely find myself more of a drums guy, maybe because I feel like I really have to get in there with the flats, and make sure I don't miss. At least with the drum, it's like, okay, there it is. Take a big bite. Maybe it's the lazier look at it, but I just always think there's more meat to it.
I don't want to work. I don't want to work for my food, dude. I'm a drums guy because I get that scoop and score. I'm good to go.
I think it's just the accessibility, but like I will work my ass off to pick crabs. Like I am all about the process of crab eating. But like when it comes to wings, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I just want to get to my next wing. And the drum, it's just, oh, great. I'm going to dip it in. I'm going to, take my bite. Great. On to the next one. It's like the efficiency. Yeah.
I'm a flat. I love both, but I'm a flats guy.
Yeah.
I'm a flats guy.
Speaking of crabs and ripkins, when I worked at Nick's Fish House, your dad threw an event, and the placemats had "Eat crabs the Ripken way," and it like how your dad ate a crab, like step by step. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Does he have a special way of doing it, or does he do it?
I don't even like
every other person does it the same way, right?
It was the same.
It can't be that.
We all do it.
There's only so many ways that you can eat crabs. Now there are wrong. I think it's fair to say we could say there's wrong ways to.
Unless he throws it on the ground and stomps on it. Like, what is the?
I forget. This was like 7-8 years ago. I was remember like eat crabs the Ripken way. It's the same thing. I mean, it's like pull back the apron, crack, take the claws off, stuff like that.
Like, and you can. The one thing is, like, I'll try to utilize. We were growing up is just utilizing the legs to really get the meat, or like try to get the rosebud of the crab, like one of the end fins pieces. But how you open it and how you go about it, it's like, all right, your preference, man, like dealer's choice. But the one thing I do say is like before the crab comes off, and if like what I tell people that come in from Maryland, I'm like, hey, this isn't like with a lobster or something where you're just like taking the claw first and then go. It's like, no, leave the claws here or the rest of them and like use it to your advantage. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Also, I was at Captain James. Like one thing I learned, like sometimes you could use a knife to get in and open it up. Then finding a way when I was like, a big and strong adult, figuring out you can just rip the top off if you have the right handle, like, stuff like that. But I don't even know. I'd have to ask my dad, like, what the hell?
You become a more seasoned veteran over time. It's the same as anything, right?
It's anything. It's like it's reps. It's reps.
It's reps.
Boneless wings are delicious. Joe Racky says, I agree with you. Boneless wings are delicious, but if you go to
boneless
Buffalo,
wings are chicken nuggets.
You can't eat them there. Also, I agree with that. Boneless wings are chicken nuggets, and chicken nuggets are awesome. What's wrong with those?
I don't disagree. I'm just saying they shouldn't be put in the same category.
On the wing topic, is it just like you just get regular buffalo, or like that's like the only flavor you can get up there?
No, they
sacrilegious
offered
to get
other
different.
ones. They
Mild,
offered other
medium,
ones, but I'm just like, it's when I think of Buffalo, I'm like, I want Buffalo wings.
Yeah, gotta do it.
Give me your classic. That's what I would say. Give me whatever you. What do people will come in here to get? That's what I want.
What's your favorite? What are you known for? That's like what we asked when we went up there. What are you known for? Well, we're known for wings. Great. We'll take 50 of those.
Yeah. With a giant bowl of blue cheese in the middle.
And celery. I love a good celery,
celery.
A little chomp. I love it.
All right, Ryan. Well, you've been swamped in calls all day, and you're obviously still not feeling great from that Ravens game. So thank you very much for coming on and hanging out with us today, man.
Of course. I guess I got to do. We got our happy hour hot stove tonight, so I gotta buck up. But yeah, just trying to figure things out. It's crazy. Baseball ends. It's not fully over for me just yet, which I'll announce that more when we get that all sorted. But yeah, then it's like baseball's here, and now it's never ending.
Yeah.
So,
do you want to promote anything? You want to send people over to your channel tonight? You said you got a happy hour today.
Yeah, 6 to 7 happy hour hot stove. It's the only time we allow Rocco to join us during the week, and yeah,
Smart
just
man.
got some
Smart
things. You guys will know before. I'll tell you guys other things we got in the works here, but I got to get that all sorted out, and I got to not look like shit. Thank you, Brooks. So I'm going to work on my face. One of my favorite things up there, I did get complimented on my eyes quite a bit. So I was like, thank you. And like, see that you got that going for you. I'm like, well, if I take my hat off, you'll see that like that's going for me. So hairline is going away. So I got to try to look the best I can, Brooks, even if I thought, hey, I'm just coming on with the guys, shooting the shit. But I'm glad. I want you to shoot it to me straight.
Hey, if we don't make fun of you, we don't love you. So
Amen.
Amen. Except Rocco. So
yeah, that guy.
And I got to figure out what's going on, in Canton. By the way, that's
Ryan's intrigued about this club that he heard about.
Oh yeah! All right, so next time you come into Canton, we'll take you to St. Gerard's. I think Rocco's pants almost popped off.
He hasn't stopped talking about it. I'm like, I'm interested.
Laura says the eyes do bring him in. Good for you, Ryan.
Thank you. All
right. Well, you go have a great day. Happy Wednesday, man. Enjoy the shitty weather we're having here in the eastern side of the United States. And
all right, but guys, well, enjoy yourself. Happy Wednesday. Ollie, get out of there. Get. Sorry. Ollie's getting a little frisky. I'll talk to you guys soon, all right?
Hey, buddy.
Thanks, dude. All right. So that was Ryan Ripken. Thank you, Ryan Ripken, for joining us. Impromptu. You are the man. Thank you for supporting us so much. And go check out Ryan Ripken Show if you're watching this. They're going to be live 6 to 7 tonight doing a hot stove. And they're live all the time. I'm not sure the days. Brooks, do you know the days off the top of your head?
They're Monday and Thursday as well right now. And they have Wednesday night baseball hot stove now. And then Kevin and Zach Reacts is kind of, that's after any kind of Baltimore game, really.
Yeah, Ravens
so we'll see what happens. With that.
We'll start seeing them more and more as the season starts to come towards us. The baseball season is looming. 3 more NFL football games, no more college football games. So 3 more football games, and then it's baseball time, guys. And I'm excited. This is a good time of year for me too, because you guys know I like golf. This is when golf starts really picking up. I just found out while we were doing the podcast that Will Zalatoris withdrew from this tournament like 10 minutes before his tee time, which seems like he does that all the time. He's got bad back, so I understand it. But anyway, thank you guys for watching.
You should have seen Roscoe come in St. Gerard's. You should have seen. He was like, "What the hell is this?"
He was probably real creeped out. He's like, "What? Are you just taking me to your house right now?
Where are you taking me? Where's this weird house with a gray awning and then a key card just opens up and then there's a bar and a shuffleboard table and a pool table?
Whatever. Dude. It's all nice. It's so nice in there now. When we first started going there, it was some shithole.
It was like drop ceilings. Now it looks like a cigar lounge. awesome.
so awesome. It's like the coolest thing ever. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We'll let Brian do our little send off here. But first, Brooks, do you have anything you want to plug or anything you want to say before we go off air?
I got nothing. Like I said, we're usually Monday and Thursday. That schedule could be changing now just because football season's over. We're in a lull period, so we'll let you know what the new schedule is going to look like. Just anticipate it being Monday and Thursday at the moment until we announce something. So, but other than that, we had to do it Wednesday this week just because of a scheduling conflict. We usually try to let you know a little sooner, but this kind of was last minute. Sorry about that.
Yep. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Joe, we'll start it. We'll take you over there in May.
Yeah, when you come over,
absolutely.
Yeah, Joe, when you come in town, we'll even if Brooks and Dusty aren't in town, I'll take you over, man. And we'll go.
Yeah, make sure you get those dates over to us, Joe. I think you probably already have, but I'll try to make sure I can at least get a day or two off work and come up and see you, man.
Yeah. Oh, and also donate to Joe's buddies GoFundMe page for the house fire. I donated a couple bucks the other day.
Yes.
I don't know if you boys had a chance to or not yet, but we have that link.
Yes, we got the link and we posted it on our social media the other day. We will post it again so that you guys can donate. I actually have not yet, so I have to do that as well. But anyway, that's a good cause. For those of you who don't know, Joe's one of our most loyal listeners, and one of his friends had their house burned down recently. So there's a GoFundMe page for them to hopefully get their life back together a little bit.
Yeah.
Tragic stuff. But yeah, Brian, you want to send us off with your with your send off?
Send off. Yeah. I was wondering where you were going with that one, Dusty.
I was too.
I say it every time I do this podcast. I have two friends that I love very much, and they love me. Mental health is huge, and it's not looked at as well as it should be. We harp on it big time because we've had friends who've gone through a lot of tough times, and I got a friend going through it right now that I'm going to meet with on Friday. So talk to people, enjoy each other's company, and keep your head up. And if you need help, you can reach out to your friends, your family. And if you don't have friends or family, reach out to us and we will talk to you. Okay. So
there's plenty of resources, and there's no shame in reaching out to you, whether it's your friends or somebody you don't know, just to talk. And it doesn't have to be about anything. It could just be about nothing.
And we still have that NAMI. Always mispronounce. Is it NAMI? NAMI?
Yeah, NAMI. The NAMI.org, that stuff. If you guys ever need help and more resources, you can go there, and they do a really good job of providing you with that kind of stuff. So, thanks again for listening. Love you guys, and we'll see you. We'll see you guys next week or later this week. We'll see.
Yep.
We'll see.
Love you, boys. Brooksy, I'll be in touch either today or tomorrow.
Okay? Sounds good, man. See you, boys.
See ya.
All righty. See y'all.